Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am filming a book review and I am reviewing Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chupeco. This one has already been released on the 3rd of March and I got my ARC in my fairy loot for like December, but I didn't get that box until I came home. So alas, a bit after release date, but not too long. It's fine. This one is the newest in a new series by Rin Chupeco, who is also known for The Bone Witch and The Never Tilting World. I have read The Bone Witch 1 and 2 and I really enjoyed them and I want to check out all her other works. So when I found that this was the art that we got in the fairy loot, I was very happy and excited. The series is called 100 Names for Magic and it's very accurate to the themes and what we encounter in this book. So in this world, we are in our world, but we are also in a lot of other magical worlds at the same time. It's very fascinating. The author has taken legends and places, magic and known figures from loads of different fairy tales and myths, etc, and put it in our world and made our world a new place. It's very fascinating and I wouldn't say that it's never done before, but I have never experienced where it was done this smoothly before and it was really easy to see what the author was doing. In this one, the magical kingdom Avalon has been put under ice by the evil Snow Queen, and Avalon is, if you don't know, is from the Arthurian myths, if I believe correctly. That is the land that Camelot lies in, or something like that. Probably not completely correct, but I'm too lazy to search up those legends. But it's a magical land that was put under ice because they basically had access to all these kinds of magic and they didn't want the rest of the world to have access to it as well. Not because they were like evil, selfish assholes, but because they knew that if magic came in hands of the wrong people, it would be weaponized and used for bad things. When this country was put under ice, the heir of the kingdom, the prince, the crown prince, escaped, Alex, and he hides in Arizona in the United States, but it's not called the United States as we know it. It's called the Royal States of America. So when I said the United States, it was just wrong. There he meets Tala, who is Filipino and has grown up in this big family that has taken care of her, and they take him in and like he becomes a part of the family. They become best friends. She's one of the few and her family is one of the few that knows who he truly is and is basically there to protect him. And yeah, he's been moved around a lot because people are after him because they don't want him to reclaim his kingdom. There is also this firebird that is supposed to appear when the next ruler of the country is 18. This has not appeared for decades, but does appear on Alex's 18th birthday. And then things changes, like they cannot live in the peaceful place they have been living and like they need to go on a run and they need to go on a journey that might lead them back to Avalon to reclaim kingdom, save the world and like not die on the way. So that is basically the plot for the first book in the series, and we follow also another cast of other characters that joins them as well. And first of all, let's talk about the world. Like we have mentions of, for example, Camelot, of Arthur, of Snow White, of Wonderland, like the Cheshire, how do you say it? The cat from Alice in Wonderland has like a role in this as well. Like the Snow Queen is inspired obviously by that kind of legend. There's also lots of mention of like Chinese warriors, etc. It mentions loads of different kinds of legends, not just the ones that you might be most known for. That's what I always enjoy about Rin's books, is that it's very diverse. Like Alex here is gay, they meet in their gang Loki, who has they them pronouns, and they are also adopted and have 2 dads. We also have Ken, who is from Japanese Asian descent. There's loads of different representation. As I said, Rin always writes wonderfully diverse books, as I have experienced. And then there is the magic. There's loads of different kinds of magic here. Obviously, they use this kind of spell tech, which has been like mass produced, which works pretty badly, but like they don't have the means to make better spell tech because most of that is locked down in Avalon. We obviously have the firebird that shows up and like has fire magic, but Tala, our main character, she has this thing, an Agimat or charm. An Agimat is one of the Filipino words for magic. At least that's what they said in the book. And like they say to her, like there's 100 words for magic in Filipino in the book, and that's why it's named that in here. And it just makes sense with also how the story is, because we have all these different myths and legends, etc., from so many places. 100 different places basically, which is why I think like the series title was really smart, and also how they talk about it, of course. But Tala's charm, or Agimat as they call it, which I know I'm pronouncing badly, is that she repels magic, so spells, etc. Her family, her bloodline has like this kind of charm that like magic doesn't work around them, and she can also like push this out of her and like erupt spells, etc. It's quite useful, but also can be quite bad in certain situations when you need magic. And that is her kind of magic, and it's very cool. And the thing about this is that almost every family in the bloodline, they have different kinds of magic that like their ancestor had, or like a different kind of weapon that is inherited, but there has been sacrificed a price for it. And this we encounter later, like when a person wants to use one of these magic stone things that are quite powerful, she needs, for be able to get what she wants, you need to do a sacrifice. And I thought that was very interesting. It's not like that with all magic. I don't think it was like that for the bad, small, mass-produced ones, but like with the strong ones. And like with Tala's Agimat, her ancestor must done a big sacrifice, and we don't know what that is. And I just think it's fascinating to think about that. And yeah, it's a fascinating magical system, and like there's different weapons that I inherited because of the family has always had a weapon, etc, etc. There's different things, and it's very cool. There's like also of course magical creatures, especially evil ones, for example, that the Snow Queen sends after them. That is a thing. Alex also has this curse that when he kisses someone they turn into a frog, and that is just one side of his curse, and we don't know the rest, so I'm very fascinated to find that out. So the world and the magic is like a mix of everything, and I love it. And the characters are super diverse and fun, and the story is fun. Like you always like a story where they're gonna win back the kingdom and learn different sides and see where we get them. There's a lot of like pre-predictions, a lot of prophecy in this, where they meet like old ladies that like predict the future, and you have to like guess what's going on. I feel like this is gonna come even more into play because we didn't get to see all the prophecies be fulfilled, but I feel like it will come as a surprise in the future. What I like the least about the book is maybe how it's written. Like I liked what was happening and everything, but the writing had me a bit hard time getting into it, but after that it was fine. And it was quite info dumpy. The way that the author chose to teach us about this world was very info dumpy. Like the main character goes to Wikipedia sometimes in the beginning, for example, to read about like a certain corporation that is doing bad things with magic. For us to learn about it, they're like copy in Wikipedia for us. And there's like, for some reason, Tala don't know that much about magic, even though she has grown up in a magical family, but she don't know a lot about it, at least not a lot about Avalon, which I kind of like didn't get how she didn't know anything about it, considering that they are protecting the crown prince of Avalon, but fine. And she like asks a lot of questions because of this, and we get a lot of like explanations because she asks questions, which I feel like would have been more natural if like she hadn't grown up in this magical world, but she literally practiced magic with her family, or like the magic that is basically non-magic because it repels magic, but you get what I mean. So I didn't like how it was world building because it was very info dumping. It was a lot of information at once when it was happening, and then like action, and then info dumping again. And I generally don't like that way of being introduced to a world. Like it works, and it's not like horrible or bad or anything like that. It definitely works, and I got to see the world and everything, but it's just one of my least favorite ways of knowing a world. But I didn't make the book bad, I'm just saying it was info dumping. In the end, there was a lot of twists and turns. I did want like a more of a conclusion to the story because I feel like it did leave very open. There's like a lot of room for more things to happen, but of course it's the first one in the series, so that is to be expected. But I also like more closure, but the things are less easy, even though it's the first book and I want like the big bad to come in the end. It's very normal to have easiness in the first book, but I like it more big bad, but it doesn't Like, it was enjoyable, and there was twists and turns that I didn't expect. And you really start to care for these characters after a while and getting to know them. When you get them all straight in your head, it gets done well. Like, there's some convenience in plot where like it's too convenient how the author chose to like split some characters, so like they would get moments together, or like they would be with people who were more able to handle the situation because the author wants to split them up and like spend time with them. But like, a really normal thing to do. It was just a bit too convenient, but it's fine. As I said, the world is very fascinating. I think it's a very original way to do it. It worked really well when you like got into it and was like, oh, this is how the world works. The magic is awesome. The characters are great. I just think that the plot will be even better in future books, and also now that we established the whole world, it won't be as info dumpy going forward. And I will definitely read the next books in the series. I think it is a trilogy. I'm pretty sure it is. At least a duology, since it's like book 1, I'm pretty sure. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. It was very much enjoyable. I really liked it, and I feel like it can fall into a lot of people's tastes. This is my thoughts on this book. Some pros and cons. If you read a book, you see pros and cons. That didn't make any sense whatsoever. Well, whatever. I think like that pretty much covers my thoughts for this book. I'm excited to read the sequels, and I really like this author. I really like the things she creates and the great characters that she makes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy. Wicked As You Wish is already out, so you can pick it up now, and you will see me soon in a new video. Bye!